In 1984, Bruce Springsteen released a song called Glory Days. It's really kind of a sad song because it's about a guy who keeps going to a bar and he meets friends that he went to high school with or other people that he knows, and they all have kind of sad lives. And he's talking about in the song how they reminisce, though, about their glory days. And the lyric goes that they'll pass you by like a wink of a young girl's eye. And he even mentions the fact that he'll end up there again, drinking with some of his buddies, talking about the boring glory days. Jesus uses the word glory in John 17 in a very, very different way. In fact, the book of John contains the word glory about more than any other book of the New Testament. Sometimes, depending on translation, 2 Corinthians might have as many or maybe one more, but those two books have the most usages of the word glory. But Jesus uses it a whole lot in the book of John. And in John 17, as he prays to his Father, in verse 4, he says, I have glorified you on earth. I have finished the work that you gave me to do. He further says in the next verse, and now, O Father, glorify me with the glory that you had and the glory I had with you before the world was. A couple of significant things, I guess, stand out to us in this text as we think about the word glory and Jesus using it here. The word glory, as it's used in the New Testament, means majesty, splendor, excellence. It's something that also is defined as the essence of something that belongs to God or to Christ. It's talking about something that also has brightness, as we would think about God and Jesus, his son. And Jesus says, I have glorified you on earth because I have finished the work that you gave me to do. Jesus will now go to the cross knowing he's completed everything and with no regrets. And now he asks for this glorification to be returned to him that he had before he ever came to earth to accomplish this great task. There are some who criticize Christianity and criticize God because they say, how could you worship a God who wants glory? How could you worship a God who wants and demands from his subjects and from his creation glorification? Well, the text says, and Jesus says, that he had this glory before the world was. You know what that means? That means that Jesus, God, and the Spirit had this state of glory, this state of splendor and majesty before we were ever created. It's the essence of who they are. It's the essence of who Jesus is as we think about this prayer. And it did not depend, never has depended, and never will really depend on what you and I do, because it is who he is. It is what Jesus had, glory, before you and I even existed.